Never miss the latest Game Tea. Check us out on social media. You can find us on Facebook at The Game Tea Podcast, and you can find us on Twitter at Game Tea Podcast X. We post memes, gaming news, retweet friends of the pod, and of course, let you know when new episodes are available for your sippin' pleasure. Links are all available in the description of this episode, so check them out after the show, and thank you so much for listening to the Game Tea Podcast.
Everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Game Tea Podcast. My name is JP.
And I'm Czar.
Czar, I'm not going to lie, I am not used to being back in the studio on Sundays. It's a little eerie.
Yeah, no, this is weird. We've moved to Monday afternoons to record, so today being here at like 10:30 on a Sunday is just fucking weird.
It's weird.
We had to move the recording time. We definitely wanted to get an episode because we have a big event coming up this weekend, which we'll talk about in a minute. But Czar is very busy, and with Czar's job, Czar has a live show to do on Monday night at the Hale Varsity Club. So we had to reshuffle our recording schedule. But we are here. We are peppy, bright, and cheery on a Sunday morning, and we're already a little tipsy, so this is great.
Speaking of which, here's what we're doing today. We've got some housekeeping stuff to do. All right, then we'll talk what you're drinking, what you're playing, and then we've got a fun article because the truth is we also didn't come up with a script for today. So I just found a random fucking article. I don't even think it's an article. I think it might be a Reddit post.
Yeah, it's just a little questionnaire, get to know you, kind of like what we did with Jamie, but we had so much fun doing that with Jamie that we thought we would get to know each other a little bit better.
I call it's a list that's very akin to a Kirby game, and that, like, the first question in mission 1 is like, get the kitty out of the tree. And then the last mission, kill God.
Kill him.
Which anime wife who has the nicest ass?
Ooh, these questions are going to get spicy.
All right. So let's start with some housekeeping. You already alluded to it. Next week, we are officially doing the Mustaches for Kids tournament, right? You're doing a lot of the maintenance work with the setups like a fucking tool, and I'm going to be doing the cool job of emceeing the event.
Yes. Your bright and beautiful voice will be heard all over the venue while I am scrambling to get all of the electronics to work.
It's exactly...
And it's going to be a great time. Again, it is for the kids. All proceeds go right back to Mustaches for Kids, helping kids in need. And it's going to be such a fun day. There's going to be a little competitive aspect to it. We'll have a tournament, but we're just going to hang out. We're going to have fun. There's food and drink specials. Mustaches for Kids is going to be doing some fun events throughout the event.
Right.
You're going to want to be there. It's going to be so much fun. We're so excited. And that is this Saturday, May 13th at the Hale Varsity Club, starting at check-in at 10 to 11. The event kicks off at 11 and goes till about 3 to 5.
And I mean, worst case scenario, show up and hang out with us for a little bit. We'll have some of our own merch that we're just giving out. Not to take away from the kids.
Oh, but... yeah. And I mean, we're not going to have too much merch there because things kind of came up very quick. But we got some koozies. We got some stickers that we're going to give out. And we got some Hale Varsity gift cards. It is $20 to enter the competition. And like I said, all proceeds go back to Mustaches for Kids. But the interesting thing is it is free for spectators. So bring a friend, get them into it. They can donate at the event. But if they just want to hang out and watch gaming unfold, by all means, like I said, free for the spectators.
And plus, I'm not going to lie, Hale Varsity's food is actually outrageously good.
It's so good.
Like, oh my God, it's really good. Hell, I might see if we can go out there after this.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great place to just go if you want a great meal. Like, I don't think Hale Varsity Club gets enough credit for how much they have worked on their menu and selecting ingredients, selecting pairings. Like, everything has been so calculated, and it is probably one of the most delicious sports bars in Omaha.
I don't even think that's an exaggeration, man. Their food is just so good.
And this is coming from a city that has more restaurants, like, per block than the rest of the world.
It shows in our body weight.
We're fat.
Well, not you.
Well, no. But I got that tapeworm keeping me company.
How you doing today, Thomas?
His name is George.
George? Oh, my fucking bad.
George of the colon.
That's actually really funny. Okay, well, now that you told it to me that way, that's really fucking funny.
Yeah, he's cute.
All right, the tournament's coming up. You can find out more information either by just going straight to our socials, where we've been promoting the hell out of the event, going to Mustaches for Kids, the website, looking at the event, or, of course, you can listen to the last episode of Game Tea, where we brought on Jamie, one of the growers. That was just a great episode all around, so go back and listen to that.
Seriously,
anyway.
If you haven't listened to Jamie's episode, that was one of the most fun episodes we have ever done. I highly recommend it. And yeah, it's gonna be a great time.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's move on to what are we drinking? And so, all right, I bought something specifically for us to share. It's another cross-strain, like $9 single can of beer, so it better be fucking good. So what I've got today is Cross-Strain's Tiki Week called the Mai Tai. It is a fruited golden sour at 4.2%.
Hell yeah. And I have not taken a sip out of this. I've been waiting for the episode to start so I
have
try
been
it.
taking sips out
I
of it.
saw that, but I'll
sips.
cheers you anyway.
Mm. All right, initial thoughts.
Yeah, it's fruity. It's got some like pineapple, some mango.
It's really interesting because the first taste is just fruit, and then you hit that pineapple like in the middle.
Yeah.
Like it peaks to the pineapple, and then it smooths back off.
And then it smooths back off with this like nice little sour finish.
And man, that aftertaste sticks around for a minute. It's so good.
It puckers the lips a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I can't believe it's only 4.2%.
It's very sweet. I wonder how much sugar's in that.
Oh, probably a lot.
All the sugar.
I mean, after that bullshit with Jamie and the 8.5% beer last week, I'm like, okay.
And the whiskey.
Oh, the whiskey. It was good whiskey.
It was really good whiskey, but we got drunk.
Oh, yeah. Christine, come pick me up and bring me to Taco Bell.
I froed up everywhere.
All right, so we got that. I brought you a classic today. I call it the back of the fridge beer.
Yeah, we're cleaning the fridge.
Kincaid's Snow Beast.
Yeah.
Which you can usually only get in the winter months.
Yep. But I mean, it's been so randomly snowy this spring that I feel like this beer is justified.
Yep, I mean, you're not wrong. And you know what? Honestly, this is one of Omaha's best, too.
Oh, yeah. Kincaid is great. I mean, Kincaid is not a local brewing, but I really like the Snow Beast.
Now, what's ironic is you have one of Omaha's more mid on the table, too.
I do. Speaking of back of the fridge beer, I am almost done with this, but I found a vanilla bean Christmas cookie blonde.
Is that from Infusion?
I believe so, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Infusion Brewing Co. That is local.
So they hit it. Infusion hit it big with the vanilla bean blonde, as they should, because that beer is amazing.
Oh my god, one of my favorites.
But they've been trying to just put spins on the beer. Like they have the Christmas cookie blonde. They've got the Fruity Loops. They've got like the strawberries and cream. Right? They've got different variations, but nothing beats the original.
No,
good.
And I mean this Christmas cookie for being a little skunky since it's quite a few months old. It does have a little bit of a ginger snap finish to it.
Yeah, that sounds Christmassy.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great seasonal holiday beer, but right now it's back of the fridge skunk beer.
It's Christmas in May, motherfucker.
But it do the job.
All right. What games are we playing now? Now, keep in mind, we have less than a week before Tears of the Kingdom hits. So whatever you're playing, wrap it the fuck up.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be busy for a while.
Oh, yeah. And which is kind of unfortunate for me. I just got done with Dead Island 2.
Okay. How was it?
Oh, it was really good. It was really, really good. The direction was weird. And I don't want to spoil it, but the end of the game is like, it leaves half a game. Like, you get to the conclusion of this game, and how it all wraps up is just like, people walk away from the distance, and they're like, wait till you see what comes next. And
Interesting.
It wasn't very long. Like, the story missions, they're only about 7 to 9 of them. They wrap up pretty quickly. They're decent length. Like, they take about an hour to beat each. But once you get to that last credit scene, you're just like, you motherfuckers just left this open-ended so I would buy the DLC. Like, you're not going to explain anything for free at this point, even though I just spent $70 on this game.
And now I want to point to the original Dying Light, because that game in itself wrapped up beautifully. But then if you got the DLC, you basically got a whole new fucking game.
Yeah.
The DLC Dying Light was amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I don't see that happening with Dead Island 2. They hinted and teased so many themes that were starting to emerge from the first game. A lot of like Walking Dead plot twists to it. But they exposed those secrets at the very, very end of the game, and they're just left with, we have more story. We have more to what we want to tell you here, but you gotta wait, even though we have just waited like 15 years for Dead Island 2 to come out. And it doesn't leave us with any explanation. They tried to set themselves up for like this epic story, but it's like, it's a zombie story.
Right.
The zombies happen, they fuck up the earth, we try to survive. Doesn't really matter where they originate from, how they got here, or what's happening with them, because that's all cut and dry. That's pretty cliche to the zombie genre. And so I was just really frustrated with the stupid cliffhanger that this game left off on, enticing players to waste more time. But other than that, the game was great. The game play was fun. It was smooth. There weren't really any notable bugs that I came across. It was a good game. I got to give it like 7.8, maybe 7.7 though, just because it didn't leave you with anything. It was basically copy and paste of the first Dead Island with some new gimmicks and some takeaways. Like, you can't store everything you need. Like the storage, the level up system is janky. I don't like the skill cards. There's a lot to this game that they failed on. If listeners out there want to hear a more in-depth review of this, because I don't want to get into this too much here. There's a lot of thoughts. Let us know in the comments if you want to see a review on Dead Island 2. But yeah, it was...
What comments?
I was whelmed.
What comments?
Social media.
Just
social media. Yeah,
comments.
Just tag us in social media if you want to hear a Dead Island 2 review. But otherwise, I will just leave it at a 7.7. Experience the game for yourself. It's fun. It's a good time killer. If you like that monotonous zombie slaying action, you're going to love this game. Because like I would sit in high points and just pick off zombies for fun, killing time. Beyond that, I started Redfall. I love Redfall. It's good. It's going to fix my gamer score with 17 points at a time, but...
Yeah, explain that to me. 17 points, because I thought that achievements on Xbox came in, like, intervals of 5.
They normally do. Most game developers are very nice to the OCD gamer, and they will only give you gamer score achievements via multiples of 5.
Yeah,
whether
5,
it be 15, 10, 50, something like that. Redfall divvies out gamer score in amounts of 17 points.
That is the most trifling thing I've ever fucking heard in my life.
Purposefully made to fuck up your gamer score, but also keep you playing the game so that you can eventually fix your gamer score, because they have, like, the total amount of points that you can earn from Redfall is 1,000 gamer score. Flat rate.
So, let's say you got, like, some kind of achievement that ended in 7, right? You would have to get at least 5 of those achievements to get back to 35.
Yep.
Those motherfuckers.
Yep.
Which would fix your gamer score.
Luckily for me, from, like, over a decade past, I had a couple games that gave me, like, 3 or 9 gamer score. So my gamer score has been fucked up forever. And with these 17s, I can get back to a normal gamer score. It's nice. But no, aside from that, Redfall's really cool, really cool. Vampires are fun. The dynamic there is exactly what you'd think, you know. You can kill the humans, but you have to do something special to kill the vampires. And it's a unique, fun take on Left 4 Dead.
Okay.
That's not actually being Left 4 Dead. The most notable point on that being it is like a 4 co-op style campaign where like 4 people fight the monsters.
Right.
But if you choose to play solo in the campaign, you don't get any AI companions. It is just you, which is a nice divergence from Left 4 Dead. And it's kind of funny because your character will even go through some places and be like, really wish I wasn't alone right now. I'm like, hey, me too, asshole.
Yeah, you're not the only one with problems.
You're not the only one feeling lonely. But yeah, I don't know if I'll wrap up Redfall before Tears of the Kingdom. That's what I've been playing.
Cool. All right, so let's see. Where am I at? So I'm in the middle of Metroid Prime Remastered on the Switch. But I also fucked up by, I've been seeing everybody having such a good time with Jedi Survivor.
Oh my God, that's been everywhere.
But I just can't, especially with, if you didn't know, we had to drop $1,200, Christine and I, we had to drop $1,200 on our dog because he had to go to the vet recently, just to find out that his neck muscle was strained, by the way. I can't wait for him to feel better so I can kill this dog. This motherfucker has been making me hand feed him pieces of chicken just because his neck hurts. He's lost 8 pounds.
Dude, I had something similar happen with my cat, but it was a lump on her neck that turned out to be an ingrown hair times cat. They thought it was cancer. They thought it was up on her jugular. They thought she was gonna die, and then they open it up and it's full of fur.
That fucking animals, man.
I lost so much sleep that week, so I get it. Just waiting for your pet to get better so you can just kick their ass.
So you can be like, you little bitch!
I'll give you something to go to the vet about. Not really. Game T does not condone animal violence.
Maybe this one time.
Never.
Besides, I would never hurt Toby. He's going to get a stern talking to. I'd be like, Toby! And he'd put his ears back and put his head down.
Strain his neck all over again.
Yeah, and he would kind of crawl up to me all pathetic-like and just kind of lay next to me looking up. He knows how to push my... That's the worst part. He knows how to push my button. He fucking knows how to get what he wants.
You can't hate me. I'm cute.
And it works every fucking time.
It's like the Puss in Boots stare. No one can fight it.
So I tell you this story for all the pet owners who are frustrated out there, but also to say I'm a little strapped for cash at the moment. I got to be careful with my money. So I haven't bought Jedi Survivor yet. I'm replaying Jedi Fallen Order, right? Because by the time I'm done with Tears of the Kingdom, right, which will be a solid 150 hours.
Oh, yeah.
You know how games go. Jedi Survivor is going to be on sale already.
Oh, absolutely.
And then that's going to be when JP swoops in, baby.
It might even go to Game Pass at that point.
Oh, I would love that so fucking much.
Oh, I love when I see things go to Game Pass and like Redfall.
Is that Redfall? Is right now? Okay.
Redfall, I think, is exclusive to Xbox. And they had a big promotion of downloading it 4 days early through Game Pass. You couldn't play it, but you could pre-download it.
I would love to play Jedi Survivor on my PS5, and it's not out of the question that Survivor goes to their game streaming service. I mean, after all, we saw games like Stray hit day one.
Yeah.
But it's not very common that happens, so I'll just wait and see. It'll be a couple of months before I know for sure. But yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about what we're doing for the rest of the day. I am not used to a Sunday recording. There's not a whole lot going on in the news right now. We don't have a script.
And we're fucking busy with the event coming up.
And call me Gru, baby, because in terms of the script, we have no script.
There's no script.
So all I did was literally Google, right, what kinds of questions should you ask your friends about video games? And what I got was this article on a website I've never heard of called Level Skip.
Lemon Party?
No, do not go there. Don't do it. All right, so Level Skip by someone who just goes by Poppy.
Woo.
Thank you, Poppy.
Thanks, Poppy.
Gaming is a popular hobby. In the past, gaming mostly consisted of heading to the arcade to play Tetris, Pac-Man, and Space Invaders. Gaming has transformed in the past few decades, and it has never been easier to enjoy video games of many different genres in the comfort of your own home. All right, so what Poppy has done for us, Czar, is she has created what she calls 50 fun questions to ask a gamer. And we're going to ask each other these questions and evaluate if they truly are fun. And that's it. That's what we're doing today. Honestly, we've picked up a lot of new listeners since we did our last Who Are We episode. So I don't know. Maybe talking about our favorite games and favorite game shit wouldn't be a bad idea. What do you think?
I am more than okay with this. This sounds fun. But we'll determine if these questions are fun.
Yeah, we'll be the judge of that.
We're the real judges of this.
All right. Here, we're going to make this really simple. I'll ask you the odd questions. You ask me the even questions.
Sounds good.
All right. Question 1. What's your favorite game of all time?
That's
Is it Banjo-Kazooie?
It's somewhere in the avenue of Banjo-Kazooie and Alice. I'm really trying to think of a game where I can just, like with Dead Island, sit on top of a third floor and just pick off zombies, and like that's how I kill my time. But no, just the whimsy and nostalgia I feel when I go back to Banjo-Kazooie or Alice Madness Returns is just overwhelming.
How many times do you think you've beaten or not Alice? Well, Alice too, but Banjo.
Oh.
Just Banjo-Kazooie.
At least 12 times, maybe even like upwards in the 20s.
How many times have you done it on your actual Nintendo 64 versus the Switch version?
Well, on the Switch, I think I only beat it 1.5 times. On the Xbox is where I beat it the most.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah, because the Rareware collection.
Yep,
that's right.
The Rareware collection. And honestly, ever since Microsoft bought Rare, Banjo-Kazooie has been on the platform via the Xbox Arcade.
Well, I just decided there's going to be points attached to this, and I'm giving you negative 8 points. I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
no.
No, baby.
I'm just going to lose. All right, are you satisfied with that answer?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even
as
let you...
satisfied as you can be.
I didn't even let you answer. I answered for you because I knew what the answer was.
I am a window. I am not complicated at all.
All right. What's your question?
What's a game you thought you'd like but actually hated?
Oh. Okay, that's an interesting question. I can usually find like positive things about all the games that I play. And if I really hate it, I stop playing it.
Anything specific?
I don't even know if I'd say I hated it, but I spent the full $60 when Bayonetta 3 came out. This is my most recent example. Bayonetta 3 came out. I dropped down the 60 bones for it and played it for about 30 minutes and found it kind of boring.
Huh.
Because I'm like, I was in a hack and slash mood, right? Because I'm like, I just got off God of War, Ragnarok. So I was like, oh, okay. I'll play OG God of War, which is more hack and slash, right? And I was like, this is great. Let's play more hack and slash games. I know Bayonetta's a hack and slash. I don't know. Bayonetta didn't do it for me.
Huh.
I don't know if I'd say I hated it, but if I really hated it, like I do my research before I buy a game. Like if I think I'm going to absolutely hate it, why would I buy it?
Yeah. You just didn't get any enjoyment out of it. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yeah, it's the only example I can really think of right now. I found the newest Mario Maker 2 to also be really disappointing. There was something about... Look, the Wii U sucked ass in most ways. But if there's one thing the Wii U was made for, it was the original Super Mario Maker.
Oh, absolutely.
Fucking... Just doing it again on the Switch, like, it's still fun. There's a place for it, but it's not the same. I was really disappointed in that.
Yeah.
Level creation to playing the levels, it just didn't feel the same.
Yeah, well, I mean, and I that rings true for me too, but, like, I guess I went into the mentality of that there would be more substance to this game. Like, maybe, and there is a somewhat of a story to this game that you like use to unlock more creation aspects. But overall, it's a sandbox that you kind of expected more toys to be in.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, number 3. What's a popular game everyone seems to love, but you don't like?
A popular game, Halo Infinite.
Yeah, what's
Halo
up with
Infinite.
that? What is up? You're the biggest Halo fan I know.
I mean, I used to be. I really loved Bungie. I don't know. Halo Infinite was just a big ol' miss for me. It tried
Did you beat it?
Technically, no. I rage quit. I went to the last boss where you're like in this tiny ass little cage room and you have to not kill the boss because it any damage you do to the boss goes to the dude who's like strung up on the wall getting electrocuted.
Oh, yep.
And so you have to like fry the servers and then kill the boss while his shields are down. And my weapon specs just weren't good. I didn't go in with the weapons I needed, and so I just keep getting wrecked. I went in with like a sniper and
oh man,
the like new sniper rifle, the one that has like 10 shots to it, and it's not far range, it's a medium range combat.
Okay. Yeah, that's fucking awful. What an awful.
I mean, that was the weapon combo that I used the entire game because I just sat from afar. But then when you're put in a close quarters room with this boss, your medium to long range weapons don't do shit. And so
versatility's the name of the game with Halo, man. You should know that by now.
I do know that, but I don't know. I rage quit through that final boss. I could probably go back and beat it, and I will go back and beat it eventually, but that game just never hit the mark for me.
Yeah. All right, man, your turn.
What's a game you didn't expect to enjoy but ended up liking? This is the opposite of the question I just asked.
Okay, so I think it's not that I didn't think I'd enjoy it, but I didn't think I'd like it this much. Stardew Valley.
Really? Okay.
I went into Stardew Valley just like, oh, look, a $15 game that looks pixelated and whimsical and fun. I didn't realize how much I would fucking love this game. To the point where, like, if I've got people who aren't really big into gaming, like, they're like, hey, man, I want to buy a Switch and I want to get into gaming. I don't know everything to get. One of the first games I recommend every time is Stardew Valley. It's like, look, if you're not a big gamer and you're just looking for something really low stakes and fun, that doesn't have a lot of combat, that gives you time to think, that gives you time to, like, customize, Stardew fucking Valley.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you could do Animal Crossing, but I think the time mechanic to Animal Crossing is really frustrating to a lot of people in that it's, like, real time.
Yeah.
And plus, like, you don't get to build those relationships. Like, all the items are for show. They don't really do anything. And plus, it costs $60. Stardew Valley. I fucking love Stardew Valley.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
That's a good answer. I like that answer.
Yeah. Thank you. I came up with it.
Yeah.
All right. Number 5. What game have you spent the most number of hours on?
Ooh, that's a really tough question because I've spent a lot of hours on a lot of games, but
that's keep going.
I've spent a lot of hours on a lot of games, but really it comes down to when I'm done with the game, I don't find a lot of time to go back. I guess I'd have to say like Skyrim. Just because...
Oh, yep, that's a good answer.
I mean,
Skyrim.
That's the only game I can think of that I have spent so much time on. Because once I hit like 120 hours in like even Fallout 4 or something, I run out of things to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Skyrim has been that only game that just seems like it has one more cave to explore.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right.
If you had to marry the last video game character you played, who would it be?
Cal Kestis from Star Wars Jedi Fallen. Yeah, from Jedi Fallen Order. I'm not disappointed in that one bit. Cal Kestis is awesome. He's a good-looking guy with a good fucking soul, and I got a thing for redheads. I never specified what sex they had to be.
Imagine what you could do in the bedroom with the Force.
Please, you're getting me a little too excited.
You can force choke. You can force push.
He can just toss me against the fucking ceiling.
You can even stimulate with electricity.
Oh, God. Oh, good golly gosh. It's only in the Sith that use electricity, right?
Yeah, but, I mean, the most evil people are probably the freakiest in the sheets.
You got me there.
Yeah.
All right. If you had to live in the world of the last game you played, what world? Oh, no.
I'm in Dead Island, too.
Oh, no. How do you feel about that?
Honestly, I'm okay with it. I mean, because that game really is hilarity in the zombie apocalypse. Like
100%.
You're in Hollywood, baby. You're living in L.A., California during the end of the world. What could be better? Like abandoned mansions, Hollywood Boulevard,
100%.
Beach. Yeah, love it.
All right, and I mean when you die in games like Dead Island, it's a much different experience than when you die in zombie games like The Last of Us. The Last of Us is brutal when you die. Have you ever seen someone like get chomped on in The Last of Us.
Oh yeah,
They do a close-up cutscene.
Yeah, it's
with
like
a scream and it's horrible.
It's like Dead Space death cinematics. No, in Dead Island 2, you just kind of like, and then fall over.
I'm dying.
Yeah, then you fall over and it says death.
You are dead.
You are died.
You are. All right, what's next?
Have you ever had a crush on a video game character? Why are all of mine romantic?
All right, let's see. The answer is probably.
Probably. Yeah. Lady Dimitrescu.
Oh.
Vampire Mommy.
Oh. Lady Dimitrescu.
Dying by the thigh.
Die by the thigh. Okay, but like I'm thinking like my early OG. Okay, do you remember last week when I showed Jamie the list of Zelda characters and I was like, who would your waifu be? Mullen from Lon Lon Ranch.
Not the Re-Dead?
No, not the Re-Dead. Well, maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, if I strike out enough times with everyone else, I'm like, all right, fuck you. Want to see a movie? Re-Dead. Yeah, I agree. Mexican sounds good. Let's go. But yeah, Lady Dimitrescu. Oh my god! Like, and I feel like everyone else, it was like ironic, but for me, just.
But for me, I was like, I wanted to die by the thigh.
Die by the thigh, dog. All right. What was the first video game you ever remember playing?
Pokemon Stadium.
Pokemon Stadium, huh? Was that your brother's?
No. It was one of the very first games I ever got on my N64 when I got an N64. But I guess before that, I went to a babysitter, or like I was part of a babysitting group, and the lady had an N64, and she got the like Donkey Kong 64 version N64.
Ooh, okay.
So that was like technically the first game I ever played, but then when I got my own 64, the first one was Pokemon Stadium.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
So, have you ever pretended to be sick to get out of something so you could play a game, otherwise known as the COD fever?
You know what's ironic is if there is a game that I did that for, it might have been COD. I mean, the thing is, up until recently, I've been a working man, right? So, I mean, in college, if I wanted to say fuck you and fuck this so I could play games, I just kind of did it.
Yeah, you didn't even have to come up with an excuse of being sick. You're just like, fuck it, I'm taking today off.
Just an excuse of why I'm disappointing my parents. But, I mean, back in the high school days... Got it. Yes, I faked sick when the first Super Mario Galaxy came out.
Really?
Yeah, I distinctly remember that because my mom was on to me. Because she was like, so let me get this straight. I buy you a new video game that you've been talking about for months. The next day, you say you're sick, but you have no fever or other physical signs of illness. Yes, that is correct.
I'm connecting some dots here.
And she's just like, fine, just stay home.
I'm not gonna fight it.
Yeah, I'm like, yay! I'm like, oh, I'm dying. So yeah, there we go.
Oh, Super Mario Galaxy.
What was the last game you completed?
Oh well, we already talked about this.
Dead Island.
Dead Island 2.
Ah.
Just beat it.
And you said it was mid.
It was very mid.
That's a shame.
Yeah. I mean, especially since we've been waiting for like 15 years for this game.
And plus, the concept is genuinely great. I mean, that's the thing with zombie games is they're such a dime a dozen sort of game now that, like, you got to do something to really, really mix it up and make yourself stand out if you want to have a good time.
Yeah, well, and I mean, even beyond that, like, this is one of the first zombie games, aside from, like, Left 4 Dead, that takes place in the U.S., in places that you're like, oh, hey, I know that place. I've possibly vacationed there before. Like, Dying Light takes place in South America. The second one takes place... I don't think it takes place in America, but, I mean, the Dead Island 2 takes place in Hollywood, California. What is more notable than that? And, like, that is the unique hook, and it was still mid.
Okay, if I have one real complaint about, not just, by the way, this is a movie trend too. Watch a Marvel movie. It's like, oh no, they're attacking us in America. It's like, America consists of more than just New York City and, you know, insert town in California here. It should be, oh my God, they're attacking us in Boise, Idaho.
Where the fuck is that?
Like Thanos gets there, like, where the fuck is everybody? A tumbleweed goes by. Ain't this a bitch?
Didn't realize how big this fucking planet was.
Fuck this planet.
People aren't living in one giant city on this entire planet.
You know,
they're spread out.
Yeah. What do you mean they speak different languages?
What?
What are you fucking talking about?
Yeah, honestly, I think a lot of supervillains would be surprised if they came here and tried to fuck
This
with
place
the
is
Earth.
fucked up.
New York is not the center of the universe.
Oh, yeah.
Anywho, do we want to do this question? What
games are you
game
playing
are
right
you
now?
playing right now?
Yeah, no, yeah. I'm playing Jedi Fallen Order to sustain myself while I'm drooling over Tears of the Kingdom.
Well, I don't want to ask the next question either because
What game do you want to play next?
No. My number 14 is, in your opinion, what's the best video game console? Obviously, you're going to say PlayStation.
I think it's what your definition of the best is. Are you looking for what's the most accessible? Xbox. Are you looking well, actually, that might even be Switch.
Yeah, I'd say the most accessible would probably go to Switch.
Are you looking for the console that will give you the most best free content? The Xbox. Are you looking for the game for the console that just has the best exclusives and the best single-player gaming experiences you could fucking have? PlayStation. Are you just trying to fuck around with your kids or your friends and you want something that you're just going to whip out when it's fun or when you're on a trip or something? Nintendo.
Every console has their value.
Yeah, I mean, that's honestly how I feel about it right now. All right. I'm just going to ask you this question and move on. Are PC gamers really superior to console players?
They like to think they are.
I know. Last week we asked Jamie, it's like, I think I asked him the question, like, what gaming community is, like, the most volatile?
Yeah, and he just went straight to PC.
I was thinking of, like, games, by the way, like a gaming community, but he just went straight to PC. And I'm like, that's a great fucking answer, honestly.
I'm going to say no. They know how to emulate. They know how to use console commands. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they're the best players out there. I think there's a lot of value to console players, and I think the modesty of console players says leaps and bounds more than a PC player being boastful.
Okay, here's the way I look at it. If you're an average person, chances are you probably already own a television and a couch, right? Mm-hmm. If you want to get into gaming, consoles are easy because you just buy the console, you unbox the console, you put the console on the TV, and boom, you're ready to fucking game.
Everything's there.
For PC gamers, let's say you luck out and you find a gaming console that's $500, which, by the way, is nothing to brag about in the gaming community because it's going to have a mid-tier graphics card, a mid-tier CPU, 8 gigabytes of RAM, no RGB lighting. Like, that's a really, really low-level PC.
Yeah.
Well, you're also going to need to buy a mouse, a keyboard, monitors, right? A desk, a chair. It's just not as accessible.
And by that point, you're so engrossed that you're just going to keep updating your PC every single year with the latest tech.
So it's just no. Like, it's a big... What did Jamie refer to it as? Just a dick showing contest?
Yeah, in so many words. It's just a matter of slapping on the table, see who's his biggest.
Just like, yeah. And I say this, by the way, as someone who built their own PC. Like, I get it. It's a lot of fun, but it's nothing to brag about. I spent $2,200 on something I barely use.
Yeah, same.
Because I'm playing my PlayStation and my Switch.
Yep.
That's nothing to brag about. I mean, I'm bad with money.
I do more work on my computer than game.
It's true. I wrote my thesis on my gaming PC.
About Animal Crossing.
True. All right, what's next?
All right. What's your opinion on Fortnite? I'm not even kidding you. It's written right here.
I like this list, actually. Okay. I think Fortnite, when it first came around, was amazing because it was doing something that no other game was doing, right? Like, it wasn't the first Battle Royale game, but it was the first one to put it in the art style that was the most accessible. The building mechanic was really, really unique. I loved it. I loved Fortnite when it first came out. But then you stepped away from Fortnite for a while, right? Because we all got bored of it. And then when you come back, you find that it's the new playground for the 11 and 12-year-old Dorito-eating, Mountain Dew drinking, smelly, chubby kids who are, basically, I used to get called slurs playing Call of Duty on my Xbox, right?
Oh, yeah, we all did.
Now that's happening while people are playing Fortnite.
Yep.
And it's just it's just so memeable. And also, they just do too much, with trying to market with other brands. I died a little inside when I saw Kratos, the god of fucking war, who killed literally everybody in Sparta and has killed most people. He literally killed so many people, he had to jump mythologies and kill more people. This motherfucker is doing a default dance after chugging some slurp juice or whatever you call it. It broke my fucking heart.
Yep, I was the same way with Master Chief and all those other characters. Doom Guy.
Did they get Doom Guy?
Yep, they got Doom Guy.
Doom Guy.
They
Come on.
They got that badass demon sword as Doom Guy's weapon.
Fuck.
Yeah.
All right, here's one. Have you ever watched a Twitch stream?
Yeah, actually, I've watched several Twitch streams, and I've even streamed myself.
Yeah, you used to be a streamer. Czar265?
Yeah, it was just like Czar265 or something like that. Or no, it was Salty Fish Gaming.
Salty Fish, duh, yeah.
Yeah, Salty Fish.
All right. Any streamer in particular?
No, honestly.
Just whomever?
It was just whoever was playing which games I was interested in. I never really got into the name craze of which streamers were better. I just watched whatever I liked.
Look at the next question. Have you ever streamed yourself on Twitch or YouTube?
Yes, I have.
That's a fun fact for people that don't know. That's where Czar came from, right? That was...
Actually, no. Czar came from RuneScape after I'd been hacked for a few times.
265 times.
Yeah, something like that.
Like,
no, it wasn't.
Happening.
It wasn't that. I just thought to myself, what is the coolest name I can think of? And I was really obsessed with Z's and thinking that if your name started with a Z, you were a badass.
Yeah.
So I was like, Czar. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
It just came from RuneScape. It was one of the most badass names I could think of, even though it's not really.
All right.
And yeah, it just stuck with me throughout YouTube.
Moving on.
I'm going to skip that question. Am I the even still? I don't even know which question
I think
we're
the
on.
one you're supposed to read me next is 19.
Okay. Have you ever used a walkthrough?
Yeah, a lot.
Who hasn't?
Who has, especially if you're a completionist, walkthroughs are essential. Here's my take on walkthroughs. You should do your absolute best to not use a walkthrough until you've beaten the game. Sometimes it's necessary, though. Right? If you're at a point where you're so stuck and frustrated that it's literally causing you to lose enjoyment of the game, fuck it. Use a walkthrough, get yourself through that one part, and figure out the rest on your own.
Yeah.
But once you beat the game, everything's off the table. If you just want to use a walkthrough for location of items or shit, I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I
really miss when Nintendo would give you those giant books.
Yeah.
I had an Ocarina of Time walkthrough. I had a Super Mario Sunshine walkthrough, and I never used them because it was just cool designer art.
Yeah.
You got to see developer art, you got to see unused assets, and even get background information on what you're looking at.
Exactly. The first time I ever used a walkthrough was a bonding moment with my mother. So I was a little kid. We had just moved into our new house. And I was playing The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker at the time. I had just gotten it. I had just gotten the GameCube. I was doing pretty good on my own. I literally crossed the entire ocean without using the sail, which took about 2 hours. I was like, boy, this gameplay is great.
Going
because I didn't know you were supposed to pull out the sail. But I got through... I got to the very first boss, which is the giant centipede. You remember that? With Valu's tail sticking down. I could not figure out what the fuck to do. And I was getting a little frustrated. So my mom went on the computer machine and just went on the interwebs and was like, how to beat Zelda. And she found she found it. She found a walkthrough. And she was like, what's the name of the boss you're feeding? I was like, fucking whatever. She was like, don't use fuck. I'm just kidding. That didn't happen. Anyway, she did. She was like, oh, okay, here's what you need to do. And that was the first time I ever found out about walkthroughs was because of my mom.
That's awesome. And really wholesome, too, because my mom used to do that. If I ever had a game that I had a lot of trouble with, she would print out this 50-page spreadsheet that was a forum that would bump comments and everything.
Yeah.
And it was like, move 3 steps forward, drop down. Move 2 steps to the left.
That's that's literally a walkthrough.
Yeah, and it was literally like 50 pages of spreadsheet with those border, like they had the holes on the side of them, and you could like rip them off.
Yeah.
It was intense.
Oh, I'm glad you get this question. What's the best weapon you've ever used in a game?
Ooh, I'm gonna have to give this one to Dead Rising 3. Because there is a secret nuclear bomb weapon in this game.
Yeah?
The big thing with Dead Rising 3, I should say, is that you were supposed to customize your weapons, and like you could customize this electric rake. But if you also had this like special electric blade, you could put them together and make a third new weapon that you could only create by creating 2 different modifications. This nuclear bomb had to go through 6 or 7 different constructions before being finished, where you like mix a propane tank with a fire extinguisher. Then you mix that with like a drum of acid or something like that. And what you're left with is like a football at the end of it that if you throw down, literally everything within the player's eyesight is vaporized.
Fascinating.
Yeah, no, I cleared out the record amount of zombies that I've ever seen in a game of 1,297 with
Jesus
one
Christ.
weapon. Yes, eliminated over 1,200 zombies with one weapon.
That's crazy.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Have you ever had to stop playing a game because it was too scary?
Oh, what a great question. No.
Really?
No. I mean,
You've never had to put the controller down for like 10 minutes and be like, I'm going to go to the bathroom, I'm going to turn on a light, I'm going to be right back.
I've always been pretty damn good about horror. So, like, I started listening to creepypasta at a very young age. Like, as soon as I found out what creepypasta was, I was, like, really fascinated with, like, horror stories. I mean, we're talking, I was raised on Goosebumps, motherfucker.
Fucking love Goosebumps.
So when it came to, like, horror games, and I mean, I've played the big ones, right? I've played Outlast, I've played Dead Space, the Resident Evil games. I've never played Silent Hill, but I've always wanted to play Silent Hill. The point is, though, I've played a lot of horror games, and I have never found a game that genuinely needed to make me stop. Maybe when Slender Man first came out.
The 8 pages or The Arrival?
The 8 pages.
Okay.
The Arrival, I was used to it by then.
Yeah, everyone was used to Slendy's antics at that point.
But, like, Slender Man, the 8 pages was the first time ever where, and it's funny how old that game is now. Like, it's just,
oh my God, that's almost a 10-year game now at this point.
that was the first time in my life that I ever transcended from just watching someone play this game on YouTube to downloading a sketchy looking link and playing the game for myself on the family computer.
Yes, we all did it.
So, and that was the only time where I was like 5 or 6 pages in, and that's about the point you realize you haven't gone to the house yet in the center of the forest. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And that's obviously, you hit that up one of the first places you go.
You never end in the bathroom.
Oh my God. So, I guess I'm just better than most people?
I actually... I do have a notable addition to this. So, a game I played recently that you started, Ghostwire Tokyo, made me stop playing it.
For horror reasons.
For horror aspect reasons. And it is a DLC mission. You end up like going into this abandoned elementary school. Already pretty fucking creepy considering that this is Japanese horror.
Yes.
But you are faced with what you are most scared of in games that Markiplier instilled in you. Mannequins.
Yeah!
Yes, you see a bunch of like torso mannequins and they kind of like block your path. But as you make your way about halfway through this school, all of a sudden you're faced with an anatomical dummy. Like a man who has like half his skin and then like plastic organs to demonstrate anatomy for children.
Holy cow.
You can kill it, but this thing gets right back up and it only moves when you're not looking at it.
Yeah, of course it fucking does.
Yep.
Jesus.
And the worst part was you come into this like closet and there's a door that you can't open, so you have to like go around and open it from the back. This fucking mannequin walks up to the window that it can't open and starts smashing on the glass. And it's the only time you see it move.
What game is this?
Ghostwire Tokyo.
I should keep playing this fucking
You
game.
have to keep playing it. Like, I had to set the controller down for like 20 minutes and be like, this motherfucker is literally following me throughout this whole school while I'm having to try to like accomplish objectives.
That's
and I
one
have
of
to
the most
keep
horrifying thing I've ever
turning
heard.
around so it doesn't kill me, and it instantly kills you if it touches you.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's fucked.
Along the lines of Slender, The Arrival, the mine, where you got that little kid chasing you, that got me a couple times.
The farmhouse for me in that game.
Farmhouse is good too.
Because they updated it. It's now like 2 or 3 levels in one.
Oh my fucking god. Okay.
Yeah. I think it's your question.
Has a game's storyline ever made you cry?
Oh, absolutely. Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
Dude, when Sora impales himself to save Kairi,
in Kingdom Hearts 1.
I thought that was the end of the game.
That was fucked up.
When we thought that Goofy died,
Yeah, what was with that?
he gets hit in the head with a
a rock?
Yeah, and like I'm sitting there like, I've seen so many Disney cartoons. Goofy's fine, but then they stand around him and they're all crying. They're like, he's dead. And I'm like,
Goofy's fucking dead.
what?
Which is actually hilarious, by the way.
I've seen an anvil
Goofy's
crush this
dead.
motherfucker's skull. And a tiny rock that literally just goes bonk.
Boing.
It knocks him out cold.
That's fucking hilarious.
But yes, so Kingdom Hearts made me cry.
All right. That's a good answer.
What's your favorite fighting class, warrior, mage, rogue, and why?
I try and diversify as much as I possibly can, but like if I'm doing a first playthrough on something where I get the choice, always warrior.
Zug.
Zug. I'm a bigger fan of hand-to-hand combat than I am, like, because the problem with the mage is you get that mid to long range, but you usually have a magic or some kind of mana meter that runs out pretty quickly, and then you're just SOL while you're waiting for it to recharge.
Yeah.
Warriors, I like being able to just jump right in and start fucking shit up. In fact, when I was playing Jedi Fallen Order last night, I actually had to change up my playstyle because I was going up against the Ninth Sister, which is one of the bosses. And I was getting my ass fucking handed to me because I was not being patient and I wasn't waiting for a chance to strike because I'm just like, dual lightsaber, just fucking
go in and mash the X button.
And I'm like, wait, why no work?
Why is she blocking
why
everything?
Me keep die? And I was like, well, hold on a minute. What if I watch her movements? And then I strike when she has an opening. Aha!
Revolutionary. I hate bosses like that, though. I fucking hate bosses. Because you just want to run in and smash the fucking boss to pieces, and all of a sudden you have to, like, wait for them to lower their guard.
It humbled me up real quick. and I'll also give it to it that when I finally did beat her after, like, the 6th or 7th try, like, I did feel a lot more accomplished. Like, oh, yeah, actually.
Yeah.
I had to learn. I had to change the way I was playing the game, and it worked.
Look at you figuring shit out.
What's your favorite game genre?
Well, I want to go horror. Kind of like action, adventure-y horror. Kind of the horror-style game where there's lots of monsters and scary shit going around, but you're not left defenseless and, like, crying in a corner.
Yeah.
Because I get so tired of games like Outlast, where you constantly walk by rusty sickles and your character's like, ooh, a fucking battery.
Good point.
Like, no, give me a gun.
Yeah.
Let me fight the
Yeah, good
monsters.
point.
It's still scary to me. That's what I like. Do you prefer multiplayer games or to go solo?
Solo games, 100%.
Same.
I mean, even back in the day when I was really into multiplayer games with my friends, the COD days, like, I would still deviate quite a bit to just game on my own or play, like, a solo single-player game. Basically, I would have Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2 to play with my friends, and then I would have, like, something I'm playing on my own on the side where I don't need people. But nowadays, like, I hardly seek out multiplayer gaming. At all.
Same.
Once in a while to do something with Christine, but that's literally it.
Yeah, I mean, okay, couch co-op is different, I feel. Because when they say multiplayer, I think of, like, Halo Online.
Okay. I'm going to skip this question because it's pretty similar. Do you prefer co-op or player versus player? Do you prefer co-op or player versus player?
Co-op.
Yeah. What is the first console you ever owned? N64.
N64.
Yep. Ha!
What or who got you into video games in the first place?
My dad. My earliest ever memory with gaming is my dad had an at-home computer with a joystick, and he bought this motocross game. I don't know if you ever knew about this game, but it was just fascinating to me. And I mean, you wouldn't do anything. Like, there was race trials or fucking whatever. I didn't do any of that shit. I just was amazed that I could, like, drive around. My favorite thing to do was, if anybody, this is going to activate a core memory for so many people. In this motocross game, you could go up this giant 90-degree hill, right? And that was kind of like the barrier. If you managed to get enough speed and get up that barrier and start going, a shotgun blast would occur. And your character would just go flying.
Nice.
For like miles away. And I thought that was a lot of fun.
Oh, that's such a cool way for developers to limit the player zone. Like, no, it's not an instant kill wall, but you get launched back into the map.
I loved it. I thought it was more fun than the real game.
That's so fun. I love that.
Yeah. So I guess my dad. All right. What is the longest amount of times you have sat playing games nonstop?
I really like this question because I do have a story here. Fallout 4 is the game I have played longest nonstop because me and my roommate Marcus at the time both pre-ordered it and got it right at midnight when it launched. We played this for over 24 hours. We both took off school the next day. We played nonstop. We only took a break when I managed to stick my head outside of the little pillow fort we had. And I was like, oh shit, Marcus, it's the lights out. It's like 8 a.m. We didn't go to class that day. We just kept playing all day until 7 a.m. the next day.
God damn.
Yeah. It was nasty. It was gross. It smelled like shit, but we had so much fun just sitting next to each other playing Fallout 4.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's the longest game I've ever played nonstop. If video games didn't exist anymore, what would you do? Cry.
Yeah.
A lot.
I mean, honestly, I've got a lot of other hobbies outside of video games. I'd probably actually keep practicing. I'm good at guitar, but I could be a lot better if I actually really sat down and practiced. I'd probably just learn every instrument I fucking could. When it comes to guitar or bass, I'm in a band, obviously, right? So I'm good. Hold a rhythm. I can play chords. I can even do a few solos, but I could be really, really good if I we're to Eddie Van Halen levels of good. If I spent that time playing video games, if I use that on guitar instead.
I mean, it checks out when you look that you put 120 hours into a game. And I mean, you could have put that 120 hours into learning a new skill.
Hey, baby, I enjoyed that time. As long as you enjoy it, it's not time wasted.
I think I saw a statistic that said something along the lines of it only takes 100 hours to master a skill.
I feel like that's not right.
I don't. It's something in that avenue, but with how many hours we play video games, we could have mastered a lot of fucking skills by now.
That's one Breath of the Wild, man. I can't waste that time. That's valuable.
It's one whole Breath of the Wild.
Oh, here's a great question. What's your favorite song from a game?
I'm gonna go with the Kingdom Hearts
Dearly
theme.
Beloved, I knew it!
Yeah.
Yes!
No other theme can make my hair stand up on the back of my head that.
You just hit the game. You don't even hit start. You just listen to the music for a while.
I heard it in public one time. I don't know if it was someone's ringtone or somebody was watching a video, but I heard "When You Walk Away," and I stopped, and I could feel goosebumps going all over my whole body because I just thought of all of the memories with Sora.
You've never played Undertale.
No, I have.
Oh,
yeah,
you have played it. Yeah, we've played. Okay.
Yeah, you got me to play that for Tales from the Backlog, and I beat it.
The only thing I would say would come close is anything from Undertale. That fucking soundtrack is also incredible.
Maybe also the Lost Woods theme in Ocarina of Time. Yes, because when I was a kid, I would leave my N64 on, and I would just be standing in the Lost Woods, and that's how I would fall asleep, was to that music.
It's a waste of power.
It is a waste of power, but it really helped me sleep at night. All right. Have you ever wanted to live in a world from a game, and if so, why?
I mean, all of them. If there's one that really stuck out to me, this is going to be an interesting answer, actually. I love the concept of Infamous.
Oh, okay.
I like that everybody has some kind of like material-based power, but what material it is like varies. I mean, if you look at Delson Rowe from Second Son, like he had the power of concrete and neon and smoke. And there's one and video, just digital shit. And then Cole McGrath had like electricity, like, you know, and then there's basic powers like fire or what. Like, it's very fascinating to me that everyone has like the same powers that have like kind of the same abilities. The only difference is like the kind of material that you use to make that ability work.
Oh, okay.
I think that's really fascinating.
Yeah, that's interesting.
All right, I'll tell you what. We're starting to get to the end of this list. I got to get out of here, or Christine's going to hit me with a frying pan. Let's each ask each other 3 more questions.
All right.
All right. Here's one for you. Which video game character do you most wish you were like?
Sora, because then I'd have friends.
Damn, homie.
No, I don't. Someone fucking powerful. Probably like. I think it'd be fun to be one of the immune survivors from Dead Island. Because then you could tromp around a zombie apocalypse and not give a fuck. Because you're immune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Yeah. All right. What's a game you've spent the most amount of money on? Either through loot boxes, DLC content.
When my dad and I were still both in a COD, I mean, we spent a lot of money on every single DLC that ever came out for COD.
Okay.
Because, I mean, if you think about it, the base game for, let's see, I'm trying to think, which had the first zombies? Was that Black Ops?
Black Ops.
If you really think about it, Black Ops, it was a $60 game.
Oh my god, and they had so much DLC for that game.
Yeah, and we bought every single one of it with every single new zombie map, with all of the new maps. Like my dad, and the best part about that was my dad played as much as I did, if not more. So it was never hard to convince him to buy that shit. It was just, Dad, new DLC. He's like, here's my credit card.
Nice.
Every time.
I think that game for me, and I hate saying this, is Pokemon Go. Because I've been playing Pokemon Go for so long and buying those $15 Go Fests every single year.
How much money do you think you've put in so far? At least a couple hundred.
At least a couple hundred into this game, and I hate it. I hate every fucking cent of it.
All right, now I'll say, and what I'm about to say actually refers to my friend, and if you're listening, you know who you are. They have easily spent $3,000 to $4,000 on Apex Legends.
Whoa.
No exaggeration.
Whoa.
Not just the game. They've bought like gear and merch and things outside of the game, but even a couple $1,000s for shit in the game. Apex Legends.
G-Bus. Nope. Damn fucking loot boxes.
All right, what's next?
I think it's your question, because I just asked you what's the most amount.
Oh, yeah. All right. If you could have one power of any video game character, who would it be?
Oh, what power? I can't think of any games that are like notable superpowers. I guess. Fuck, I can't. I am drawn.
Why don't you take Delson Rowe's smoke powers?
Because I'm already a conduit of smoke.
That's exactly right. You'd love it. Vaping probably wouldn't hurt your body anymore.
Ooh, the vampire powers from Skyrim.
Oh, good one.
At will turning into a vampire lord, because if you consume enough blood, you can actually blend in with the rest of society and go out in the sun. Plus, vampires are super cool.
I like it.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Who do you usually choose as your fighter in Super Smash Brothers, Soul Calibur, or Street Fighter?
All right, well, first of all, fuck Soul Calibur and Street Fighter. I don't have an answer for those. But Smash is interesting. Okay, so Smash Ultimate, by the way, right?
Yeah.
Most recent Smash?
Yeah.
Okay. So Toon Link is an automatic go-to. Because normal Link actually had their moveset change, right? Because you've got a different kind of bomb set now that, honestly, I don't like nearly as much. I don't like the remote bombs.
Yeah, no, I don't like Breath of the Wild's Link, his moveset compared to OG Link.
Yeah, I don't either. So, Toon or Young Link are usually my go-tos. I like that Young Link has fire arrows. I think that's cool.
Yeah, that's really useful.
I also like being Luigi. I'm not good as Luigi. I really empathize with Luigi, man. Byleth is one of my go-tos. I like using Sephiroth. Obviously Sora, now that Sora's on the roster.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. One character that I did not get super excited about was Joker.
Yeah. And I mean,
which is weird because I like Persona 5 a lot.
Yeah, I love Persona 5 too. And even after beating Persona 5, I tried out Joker a little bit. And his moveset, like, I understood it after playing Persona 5, but I still didn't like it.
Anybody else from the OG Smash roster? Kirby's always fucking fun to play.
Oh, yeah, the vanilla.
Yeah, Kirby. I'd say that's a pretty good roster right there. Those are my go-tos.
Yeah.
All right. Xbox or PlayStation?
Xbox, duh.
Okay, hear me out, though. Oh my god, the next question.
I know, I just looked at the next question. We have to ask this one.
And this is the last question, too.
Oh, what a sad question to end on.
Oh my god.
What are you hoping for at the next E3?
Oh my god.
Anything? An actual show? For them to do it?
Oh my god.
Considering E3 is no longer in existence?
My hope for E3 is this. I hope they pull their fucking heads out of their asses and realize that, yeah, it's a shame that the big three are gone. Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation. But you could still do a lot with E3. You could turn it into an indie game showcase where you'd have thousands of people begging to throw booths at your event because there's so many people that love indie games. And yeah, it's not going to be as popular. I'll give you that. But the event doesn't have to be as grand either. It would just be nice to still have E3 around.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's the Entertainment Electronic Expo.
Yes.
There is so much that encompasses that.
I mean, if you want ideas, E3, fucking reach out to us.
We've got ideas. We had an episode before where we talked about everything they could do.
I understand it from the big three's perspective. Why would you share the spotlight when you do not have to, right? Nintendo mastered the online showcase with the Nintendo Direct. PlayStation did a pretty good job with State of Play. Xbox is still shitting the bed with their online.
Absolutely. I will attest to that.
But guess what? Xbox could have easily stolen that showcase too.
Yeah.
Like Nintendo and PlayStation both said they dipped out. That could have been an Xbox showcase.
Yeah. I wonder why it wasn't. If there was like, well, we'd love to have you, Xbox/Microsoft, but if we're only advertising you, then it would just be an Xbox event, so...
And it's like, yeah, and? It's either you do this or you don't have an event.
And they chose not to have the event. I mean, we don't obviously know that.
Speculation.
Yeah, all speculation because it's likely that Microsoft Xbox just didn't want to go to E3.
But that should have came to Phil Spencer's mind at one point, right? Where he's like, oh, look at this. Nintendo and PlayStation are dipping out of one of the biggest gaming events that's ever existed. The only other thing I can think of is Xbox genuinely doesn't have a lot they're trying to show off right now.
That, it could be that, or maybe it's just a case of when the teacher offers a workshop for the upcoming test and all of your friends are like, I ain't going to that fucking workshop. Yeah, it'll help me in the future, but I'm not going to go to it.
God damn it.
And that mentality just cycled through Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo.
All right, well, we need to wrap this up, so... This has been fun.
This has been fun.
The questions were better than I thought. All right, I'll give it to them. Those were fun questions.
Yeah, they were personable questions. It was very nonchalant, very fun. But as we come down to the end of this episode, listeners, do not forget to sign up in the description below. We have our handy-dandy Eventbrite link for the Mario Kart Mustache Madness event that is taking place this Saturday, May 13th at the Hale Varsity Club in Omaha, Nebraska. Be there, support the kids, and just hang out and have such a good Saturday.
And tell us how you feel about Fortnite.
Yeah, let us know what you think about Fortnite.
All right, man. Yes, I'm very excited. This event's going to be a lot of fun. I like episodes where we don't have a fucking script. They're always fun.
It is fun to Mad Libs it.
All right, well, we got to get the fuck out of here. So, as always, thank you all so much for listening to another episode of the Game T Podcast. We'll see you in the next episode.
We'll see you May 13th at the Hale Varsity Club in Omaha, Nebraska, and you just got your Game T.
Mm-hmm. Bye.
A Herd at Sports Network production.